back to my video blog. Today is an exciting topic for a lot of us because we want to talk about real estate, obviously, and tax deferred exchange. So I have with me Mr. Jay Pete from IPX Exchange Services. Jay.
Good morning.
Good morning. And so what Jay does is helps people who are selling a property that may be an investment and then defer the taxes so they can move all that money tax-free, which has been very popular lately with the prices going up so much. You've been really busy, right?
You bet.
Okay, so Jay, explain real quickly what is a tax deferred exchange? How do people do that?
A tax deferred exchange is probably one of the last great tax advantages that the IRS is allowing us to use when disposing of investment real estate. And there's four fundamental points. The most prominent is the need to sell a property if you have the intent to purchase a replacement property, and they need to be defined as having like kind, and the IRS determines like kind as simply being held for investment purposes. So if you've got a property that you've held for investment purposes and you want to sell it and you have the intent to buy a replacement property, you can do a 1031 exchange and defer all of the capital gains tax, both at the federal and the state tax level.
Okay, so if I have a house, I can roll it into raw land.
Oh, you bet.
Condo, commercial. So there's lots of room for one type of property for another, as long as it's investment. Okay.
It's not specific to, if you sell a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, you don't have to go buy a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house.
Yeah.
You can buy anything that you plan on holding for investment purposes. That's the key term.
And now there's been some gaps in the rates. So you told me a minute ago that the low is how much and the high is how much if you didn't do an exchange.
Sure. If you didn't do an exchange and you got stuck paying your federal and state tax, you could pay an excess of 33%, close to 40% with depreciation recapture. On the low end of that, you're looking at 24%, 24.3% with depreciation recapture on top of that. So the numbers really vary, but you're at the very baseline with no depreciation, you're paying 24.3%, and above that, you can pay well above 40%.
Great. And Jay and I did a little example. So if, say, you bought a house for around $200,000 and you sold it for about $400,000, that's about, okay, we're not taking any variables in here, being very general, it's about $200,000 in gain. So that would be on the low side, $50,000 you pay in taxes, that's gone, state and federal, up to $80,000. So there's obviously a huge tax benefit in many ways for buying real estate and doing an exchange.
You bet.
Yeah. Okay. So let me ask you this, Jay. People come to me and they're always worried about how long does it take, what's the timing. When do you get involved? When's the best time for someone to talk to you?
That's a great question, Hal. Whenever you're thinking about selling a piece of real estate, and it's an investment, a property that you don't live in, or it's a primary residence that has a business use to it, the sooner you get the accommodator involved, the better. There's strategizing, there's planning on the vesting side perhaps, but the more consultation you can get, the better off you'll be when it comes time to execute your exchange. At the very least, you need to have the accommodator assigned into the transaction prior to the close of escrow. So before you close escrow, whether it be on the relinquished property or if you're buying the replacement property first, you have to have the qualified intermediary assigned in before you close. I can't emphasize that enough.
Yeah, that's probably too late, actually.
Too late, definitely.
And how much does that cost to consult with you?
You know what, we have a flat fee. I have a flat fee that includes any consultation, be on the phone, a sit down. If you need me to consult with your CPA or your attorney, it includes the establishment of your exchange account, all wiring of funds in, and the purchase of a replacement property. It's a flat fee of $850.
But that's only if they use your service. I mean,
that's
at the close, like a real estate agent. We get nothing unless you actually perform something.
If they just need consultation, that's gratis. You know, I'm looking for the opportunity to take care of them and be their exchange company.
And you've been great at doing that for our clients, so we appreciate it.
You bet.
And then the last thing, and I don't want to go into too much detail, but a lot of people now that the prices are up have that $500,000. Like you're married, you paid $200 for the house, now it's worth like $9. Sure. Those fortunate people in that situation, but you only get $500 tax-free. There's a way, you told me, and I don't want to go into detail, but is it true that you can take the portion over $500 and actually defer or not pay tax on that somehow through an exchange process?
There certainly is. Without going into too much detail, there certainly is a tax code, 2005-14. With some strategic planning, you can capitalize on every single dollar of gain and pay no tax. Putting $500,000 in your pocket tax-free and doing a 1031 exchange on the rest.
Okay, that's what we're going to talk to you. So, Jay, how do people get a hold of you and get those questions answered?
You bet. My number is 805-636-4944. You can call me at any point in time. I'll be more than happy to answer any question you've got.
Great. Thanks again for stopping by. Jay, thank you very much.
You bet, Hal.
All right.
Anytime.
Thanks.